Hey, you savages. Welcome back to Greg Medford Show. I'm your host, Greg. We're from the factory here in Phoenix, Arizona, from my studio off my office. Back in the podcast world, chatting a little bit. I took a little hiatus. I took a little sabbatical, if you will, from the political stuff. I had my soul crushed, and then kind of seeing how elections are run from behind the curtain kind of made me sick to my stomach. I have loved this republic since the day I was born. I fell in love with it when I was about 8 years old, standing in front of George Washington's grave. I had taken a bus tour when I was 8 with another friend who was 14. The two of us left Massachusetts. We had $20 in our pocket. We bought this tour. You hop on this bus, Peter Pan bus lines in Springfield, Massachusetts. We hopped on the bus and overnight drove down to Virginia. And we went to D.C. We went to Ford's Theater, Smithsonian Air and Space, the Smithsonian American History, and then we went to Mount Vernon. And I remember standing there, having read about George Washington when I was, pretty young. And I remember standing there in front of his grave, looking at the sarcophagus that was so simple, right in front of this grated, this kind of fence in front of it. If you've ever been there, it hasn't changed. And I remember just kind of I kind of fell in love with George Washington. The idea that the U.S. Capitol building with the big dome, below the center of that is a crypt for his body, and it remains empty to this day, because Washington didn't want his body carried around like Alexander the Great, being a claim to power, and that the power was with the people, not with one person at the top. And, we broke away from the divine right of kings to do this great American experiment, and it was still ingrained in us that we still wanted a king. We couldn't let go, and they wanted to make him king, and he said, no. And he's buried in what I would describe as a simple landowner's grave. And I made sure to take my son there when he was about the same age, and I got a picture of him standing right in front. I told him, I said, you stand there and contemplate the father of the nation who went up against Great Britain. The sun never set. They said the sun never set on the British Empire because they were all over the planet. And this one guy and a few other rabble entrepreneurs in this new place, America, basically waged a campaign against the greatest, global power the world had ever seen. And then by some stroke of God, fucking won. Bananas. And started a country out of it. It's bananas. So my grandfather was called to its shores during World War I because his country in Greece was failing. And his brothers were here doing fruit and produce out of Boston. And he came through Ellis Island. And I remember growing up, him being teary-eyed about becoming an American citizen in the 1950s. And he was teary-eyed. And I went to Greece with him one time. He went to his village in the Peloponnese. And he said to me at one point, he said, I'm never coming back here again. He says, America's my place. And it was interesting. Everybody else in the family was romantic about the old country, was romantic about his country. And he was like, fuck this place. I'm an American. Get me back to the United States. He tried to join up for World War II. And they said, Mr. Nikotopoulos, tell us what you do. And he said, well, I'm in the trucking business. And they said, well, what do you mean the trucking business? He goes, well, I own a trucking company. I've got trucks and drivers, and we bring fruit and produce all over New England, upstate New York and Pennsylvania. And they said, yeah, you can't go in the military. And he goes, what do you mean? They said, you're vital to the U.S. infrastructure. You can't join the military. So he and my uncle and, my family got, because they were in the trucking business, they got precluded from going in wars. But love the country. I mean, if you sliced any one of us, you'd get red, white, and blue would squirt out of us and a bunch of green, because we believe in capitalism and the free market. So while I'm out in the free market with my son, we stop into a, the tech companies are starting to have these stores where you can go in, and we stopped in a place and ended up running across our next guest today, and we talked a little bit, and it's interesting, on the surface, it would seem like we have almost nothing in common, and the more you talk, the more shared values and common interests you find we start to have. And I found this during the Trump administration because I wore a Trump shirt and I had a Trump sticker, and it all of a sudden, it wasn't, you know what it became really easy to do after Trump ran for president? It became really easy to scream racist at people. I don't know, obviously we had an ugly period after Reconstruction, after the Civil War. We certainly had an ugly period in the 1950s in the South. But it would be really, really, really hard to argue that white supremacy is on the rise in America and that it's a troubling phenomenon hurting our country. Yet that's all I heard people talk about. And then if you showed your support for him, well, clearly you're a Nazi or a racist. So I've been called everything. And what started to happen was, and some of you have been on this journey with me, you start to ask questions and you start to stop people and talk to them. And this is one of those instances. So our next guest, Mo Tangara.
Yes.
Did I say your last name right, Mo?
Correct. You got it right. Yeah.
And his first name's short for Muhammad.
Yes.
He comes from Mali in central West Africa.
Yes.
And Mali's a landlocked country. I don't know, what are there, about 24 million people?
Yeah, about 24 million people.
24 million people. Yeah. And a former French colony.
Yes.
So
French colony.
French as the language of business, probably.
Correct. If you speak language, yes.
And then tribal languages spoken by everybody when you get outside of town.
Correct. Yeah.
And what's the languages that are primarily spoken?
Bambara. We have about 69 dialects.
But if you speak Bambara, do most of those dialects, can they understand you?
Yes, so when you speak Bambara, most of the dialect.
Okay, so you have an indigenous language. The tribes all have their certain twist on it.
Correct.
And then does everyone pretty much speak French? Because that's what was in school?
Oh, yeah, pretty much everybody speaks French.
And you speak French as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're fluent in French?
Oh, big time.
Bambara?
Yeah, Bambara.
And English.
Yeah.
You're a fucking polyglot. Look at you. So thanks for coming in. Appreciate
no
you
problem.
being here.
I appreciate you. Great.
So we ended up working through some tech stuff, and he helped out my family a little bit. And then while we were talking, we exchanged phone numbers. And, he's got about, for those of you who can't tell, he's 6'9".
Right.
And of course, it's funny. I generally don't ask sports questions of tall people. I just don't do it because I figure everybody does that. Yeah. Like when you meet a girl that's 6 feet tall, you don't go, "Oh fuck, how big are your feet?" Because when you meet short people, you don't go, "Oh my god, look at you, how small are your little feet? Look at you." You don't say that. So I don't. But people they have no problem talking about big people.
That's true. Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, you're fucking big, man. Because I've got Jeff around me all the time. He's 6'6", and you made him look small.
Right, yeah.
So Mo played some basketball. So tell us a little bit about your basketball background.
Yeah, start from back home, West Africa, Mali, playing U16 Mali national team. I was one of the best players in the country, like all around Africa. I was ranked one of the top. So from there, just got a scholarship, come to United States, went to University of Arizona, 4 year there, and then after that.
Who was your coach when you were there?
Lou Olson. Actually, he passed away. I was in Tucson yesterday. Do some
memorial stuff.
Yeah, memorial stuff for him.
When did he pass away? Just recently?
Yeah, 2000. I think it's 3 years.
Okay.
Yesterday was like 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was a great man and really helped me with a lot of things, become a man. So we miss him. So it's always good to go back to Tucson, do stuff for him.
Nice. So. Tell us a little bit about your route to get to the United States. So obviously you grew up playing basketball in Mali.
Yeah.
And then you ended up, how old were you when you came to the U.S.?
16.
So you were 16?
Yeah, 16, got it, 16.
Were you 16 to come to college, or did you come to high school?
No, I went to prep school. So it was...
was that part of grooming for basketball?
Well, you can say yes because
Because how many kids in Mali get sent to prep school in the
oh,
U.S.?
not many.
Okay.
I'm
So
like
tell me how that happened.
1,000,
Yeah.
150,000,
Yeah, right.
or 100 million.
There's only two of you from the whole country, probably,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I mean, like, who got you to private school in the U.S.?
I think like the thing about that, it started off fell in love with America,
Yeah.
and he started off watch American Olympic, the way they talk, and the way they communicate, the way they carry themselves on the basketball court, even the track and field. They talk with the confidence, they talk with the arrogance in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's
They're cocky.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they back off. They back down. Like they say, we're gonna win this, and they go and they win.
Yeah.
So it started from there, and then watching them. So you know what? My dream is to get to the United States. And
So Americans are embarrassed of that behavior, right? Like if you talk to your average American, they're like, "Oh, just be humble."
yeah,
Except the rest of the world really believes in American excellence.
yes, that's what the world is running. I think that's the thing. Who recently, I'm struggling with it because I became a U.S. citizen 2014. So I did swear that whatever I'll have to do, whatever I have to do to protect America.
Mm-hmm.
And to see today the proud being American dominant around the world, to see people trying to shy away from that, it's a big mistake for the next generation. Because
You're talking about the diminished reputation
yes, you know,
by our own actions, by our own
being
politicians.
humble, look at things. Oh, no, man. You are the most powerful country on the earth. And that's why we came in here. We left there to come here. That's the reason. We want to be with the best. And the best have two things to do. I'm going to convince you to go my way, or I will dominate you. So if we start to shift away from that domination.
Yeah, not the nicest view of things. Okay, I see where you're coming from.
You know,
yeah.
in a way, I mean, that's the young, like any young basketball player from Africa. Pick them up. That's a LeBron. They give you one of the superstar names. Those guys on the basketball court, they're a killer. They will tell you what they're going to do to you, and they will go and do it.
Right.
And that's what drive us to come in here. So as we grown up, like right now, you know, adult life coming, you see things different. And in the way where, you know, the stuff to help us to get here, we see that motivation. It's not there. It's still there, but it's like silence.
So we always think, if you hear Americans talk,
Yeah.
because we have our opinions on everything.
Right.
We always think people come here for opportunity.
Oh, yeah, there's opportunity, but I'm telling you, there's more than that.
But it's more than that. You're saying that you guys appreciate the alpha dominance.
Yes.
And so you're like, I want in on this alpha dominance.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting. I've never heard that before,
yeah.
but I think it's awesome.
It's a both. You come for opportunity, but you got to be alpha dog to take advantage of the opportunity America have to offer.
Yeah.
You cannot come in here and sleep, but you watch them produce. Their productions, you watch the growth, you watch
the outcome,
their confidence.
Yeah,
that's what you want to come.
Yeah,
and that's alpha dog.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we still. I'm American. I can say we.
Yeah,
and we still have our place to keep going with that. But right now, I see there's a silence, and you see other countries dominate, other countries getting together, want to do this. And I just feel like American becomes secondary.
Yeah. And the worst part is we've done it to ourselves.
Yes.
So I think, you know, I have to have this unabiding faith that we've been here about 250 years.
Right.
And we've been through this before.
Yeah.
Parts of maybe self-reflective, kind of like collective withdrawing,
right?
Like we're withdrawing from the world. We go through these phases, and then we get bold and get out in the world.
Right.
You know, the weirdest thing that's happened is this technology.
Yes.
You know, you're part of this technology universe.
Yeah.
And technology has made it so you can't keep lying to us.
Right.
I think the big uber wealthy, powerful. Like if you want to know who's powerful,
Right.
go walk through Boeing's manufacturing plant.
Wow.
And you see 20 740s, 787 Dreamliners lined
Right.
up inside the building,
Right.
and they look small. Like you want to know who's powerful?
Right. That's
Whoever owns that is pretty powerful.
It is.
You go to where they make bombs.
Right.
Like the military makers in this country
Right.
are big industry. Where they make tanks, where they make jets. I
Yeah.
mean, it's big stuff. Where they make ships.
Right.
Where they like basically own a piece of the ocean that sticks into the nation, and that's their office. That's crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they've been steering the boat with some other rich guys that own newspapers.
Right.
And then the TVs came along, and then they own the news stations.
Right.
And they are all in the same little club.
I see.
And they've been lying to us. They lied to us about John Kennedy. They
Right.
lied to us about Bobby Kennedy. They lied to us about Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers
Right.
and Malcolm X.
Yep.
They've been lying to us about everything.
Yeah.
They lie to us about how we treat each other.
Yes.
They
I think that's what this will show up right now. And I've been silenced. I've been, I've been silent for so long, like watch things. What I'm trying to do is to talk to the young generation to just help them to be awareness what's going on with what you see, what been shown to you, what you've been told to do. Take a second and make sure you dig down, do your research. And I think what that started brought up to us is just more like misguidance, like you say. And that misguidance, the next generation is the one that's going to suffer with it.
Yeah. Well, the jig is up because we're all seeing, because everybody's got a phone and they're
Yes.
a camera, and
Right.
everybody's posting what they see going on.
Yep.
And you get enough. It's all, you ever see, did you ever see Ford versus Ferrari, the race car movie?
Mm-hmm.
Remember they had a big computer in the car, and one scene the guy takes the computer and he throws it out.
Yeah,
And they
like-
tape little pieces of yarn all over the outside of the car. Remember that?
Right.
And so they drive it around, and they're looking at the pieces of yarn to see what the wind is telling them.
Yeah, where's to go?
The wind is telling me
Right.
that the little pieces of yarn
Yeah, the device.
are telling a story that's different.
Yeah.
And I think that this whole thing is getting ready to fall apart in the way it has been.
Right.
And it's getting ready to become more democratic
Yeah.
than it's ever been.
Right.
Because I think the institutions like the CIA
Right.
and the FBI
Right.
and the NSA
Right.
and all of these government institutions, which really have been controlling stuff, I
Right.
think they're losing their power.
I mean, I can say yes. I mean, even if you look overseas, like, I pay attention to here, but when you look what's going on in those third world country, that tell you all.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting much information as we do, but they are waking up.
Right. And they get more information than they did 50 years ago.
Yes.
A lot.
So I think like here, we're in this phase of like, we know what the heck is going on, but let's keep our mouth shut. Let's keep quiet a little bit. People don't like to come out.
I think it's getting ready to tear apart at the seams. And I think what's going to happen,
Right.
I think people think there's going to be this like either a revolution. I don't think there'll be like a gunfight in the street.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a different country.
Okay.
Because the only way it survives is if they'll let us have our vote. If they don't let us have our vote, we'll burn the place to the ground.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to, and I think whoever's pulling the strings, whether it's the CIA or some group of uber wealthy guys,
Right.
I think that they're going to go, we can't manipulate. They know
system,
now
yeah.
because everybody
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
And if we
Yeah.
keep doing it, they're going to they're going to come after us with pitchforks.
Yeah.
So, I know Mali is in some political turmoil right now. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about what's happened over there.
Yeah. It has been crazy. I think for the past since 2012, Mali is having this roller coaster, like up and down, government coup after government coup. Now we just got a young guy in the office. He's a military guy, and he just came in overnight.
Do you know the guy?
Well, don't know him personally, but just know him from distance. Just heard him, and And he was one of the he was very stand-up guy when he was young. So he came in and then overthrew the democratic elected president and sit there. Right now.
So did he say it was because of corruption?
Yeah, he said it was corruption, but in reality, it's not a corruption. This thing been planning for so long, and it's gotta do with the Russia, which you know, that's something we all know. They've been on the ground for years, almost 8 years now, and doing this work slowly, because now it become more like an ideology fight.
Yeah,
like you got Russia's
is the
coming.
guy more of a communist?
He's with Russia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not necessarily a communist, but he's with whoever will support him.
Right. That's what. That's what. Like whoever's going to protect him and whatever he's asking, give him gun to fight the terrorists and protect himself. I think that's what is going on right now. I think at this point it become more like his show, because I don't think if he's gonna try to do election anytime soon, and the youth also are suffering because same thing that we're talking about, like they get informations, the wrong information the youth are getting it.
Yeah.
From the social media, from the phones and stuff, and there's no legitimate leader who can guide them.
You said something interesting to me when we were at lunch a couple weeks ago about how Mali, when you were growing up, it had a very kind of red, white, and blue or pro-American, pro-Western feel.
Yes.
Obviously, it was a former French colony. It had strong allegiances with France, which clearly is more of democratic Western thinking.
Yeah.
And that would probably permeated the school systems.
Right.
And that's changed.
It's changing big time. It's changing the way where, Russia did a pretty good job to really get some of the young guys out, give them scholarship. They go in there, study, and they come back and start to implement those philosophy they get from there. And then even with the France also, right now Mali is just want France out completely, 100%. Even the ambassador, they ask him to leave. But with the U.S., they're kind of like playing this game where, yes, we're with you, but, you're helping us, but we want to be leading to Russia for everything. So
is it because we've stopped providing?
I think the way we provide it, that's something that I was worried about a long time ago.
Tell me what you mean.
Yes, we come in and help. There was a situation where I was back home. I was in the radio station talk to young cat, and throughout my camp, I get the sense of America is gonna take out of religions. America is doing this. I'm like, no. The Western trying to take something from us.
Oh, you're saying were you doing a basketball camp?
When I was every year I run
you were
basketball.
back in Mali doing your basketball camp.
Yeah, every year I do that.
And you're interacting with the kids, and in your interaction with them coming from America, they think they have this negative view. Like we're gonna tramp on religion.
Yes.
Which is communism and Marxism. That is not what
it's not
we
what
do at all.
Yeah. So they have someone who's pumping the
Somebody's
field,
telling them, talking shit to
talking like this.
Yeah.
And then you see those young players, they ask you questions. You be like, dude, I just brought your shoes. I just brought your uniform. And if the American was there, which they told you, I would not be able to bring you this stuff. So this thing has been boiling slowly. And to the point, like I got on the radio station one time, I just see, like, hey, we have to look, don't bite the hand that feeds you. You have the Red Cross. Most of the funding of the Red Cross come from the United States. You have a World Vision. Most of their funding, I would say almost 80 to 90% come from the United States. Now, you have USAID, whose American agency, they would donate millions of dollars to build the school. So we help in the school, but
are you talking about USAID, like the CIA company?
No, probably CIA. It's called USAID. It's a United States aid to the third world countries. They do, it's an agency from the United States government. So they help to build school, to do all of this. So all of this has been going on the ground for years, but you still have brainwash going on with these kids. They're not paying attention to what we're doing. We build the school. We help the women's health. U.S. and West is providing all of this. But we're not teaching them like where this stuff come from. So we just go in and give it. And then, okay, everything is taken care of. But you got to have someone who's going to hold them accountable also. Hey, we're giving you this. This is where it's come from. We don't want to take your religion. We don't want to take anything.
When do these countries not need the handout from the West anymore? What do you think? I mean, that's got to be the end goal at some point, right? What needs to happen? Because, you hear Americans, Bill Gates talks out his ass about what Africa needs, and you hear Bono from U2, he talks out his ass about, Africa needs their aid, their debt relief.
Right.
But from you live there, you grew up there, you're now here, you're of us. What does Africa need to not be the pet child of foreign countries fucking with them?
I think you gotta...
And I say Africa, it's not very accurate.
Yeah.
Mali and the former colonial countries that make up Africa.
It's got to be more like a direct talk with the condition. Yes, the condition is democracy, human right, but that's not enough. Yes.
You can't eat that.
No.
So people are still worried about eating over there. Right.
So when they're back to the corner, you got to hold some people accountable. I think that's what the West is not doing. That's what...
We don't even hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
Of course, we're the worst. You want to know what's wrong with the West? Zero accountability.
Right.
The only people we throw in jail are people that's good for the news and poor people.
Yeah. That's... So if you not hold some people accountable, you not hold even the country accountable. And this is what happened. Now, Russia's coming. You have some of these young cats have the Russia flag. They don't have no clue what the Russia got to offer or what's going on with the Russia.
They're just being propagandized.
I came to this country without nothing.
Yeah.
And this country gave me so much. That's the only country you can live your dream. Not in Russia, my man.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when I see this young 15, 19, they get in the Russia flag. I'm like, dude, you guys don't know what you're up against it.
Yeah.
But it's because the West didn't do their job. Yes, you go and help.
Disengaged.
Yeah, you go and help. And, well, yes, you helping, but do some stuff. Like China, this is what China's doing right now. We come in and we're going to build your road. We're going to build the airport. In 5 years, if you cannot pay, we'll take it from you. U.S. say, yes, we're going to come in, we want to help you. Your kids is starving. Where's accountability? You keep giving to me, I'm keep taking it. And then you got this Russian guys just come in. They treated him like he's a war hero. He's a hero. Russia's going to save the West Africa.
Hey, Bobby.
So
go ask Jeff to give me the 5 stages of entitlement.
So, and how you explain to that? I know I got you.
No, I mean, accountability, it's interesting. So China came in, you were telling me China came in and built a university.
Yeah, it did. They're doing in the build a university with the condition.
And the condition is you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And so you were also telling me they built a basketball stadium in trade for the 80 years of the right to grow rice.
They have a rice field that China's owned for 80 years. And so not everything is a condition. So, we going in, okay, we want to help. And that's something that I've been talk about friends and stuff. I haven't come up with it. Like at one point, you go and help the poor. Yes, but if things not working, you gotta have some accountability somewhere. Like, we're gonna help you. And
do you think all of the aid, it's 100 years now of African aid.
Right.
To every country practically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Africa's got problems from top to bottom, right?
Yeah, we do.
Go take a look at South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I guess, do you think it almost seems like the meddling from everyone is. What would happen to Africa if everyone stopped giving away free stuff and meddling? What would happen?
There's two things going to happen. First of all, we're going to chop it. We're going to fix each other first. Cut each other neck.
Oh, you guys will all kill each other.
Oh, yeah. Because the one who start recognize, the one who see, okay, this is the right way to do things. And the one who say, we pretty much don't care. We're just going to eat. We're not going to build the country. Those two guys going to face each other, and whoever wins is going to be head to that direction. Because if you're not coming to help anymore, now where the help is not going where you're supposed to be going, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And
well, no one seems to be able to figure it out. It's very problematic what's going on, and it's not just Mali; it's all over the damn place, right?
Yeah, it's getting to that. I think we gotta get into the youth. You know, I sometimes I get emotional. I try to take a different route, different road to do things in Mali, but I think the youth, we gotta get into them deep, because this is what's gonna happen. If you don't get into them, you know, you got about 41% of about 14 years old. About 41% of 14 years in Malian are 14 years old. Let's say 41% of Malian are 14 to 18.
Very,
to
very young.
Very young. So those is easy to get into, and that's how Russia's tapped into it, and this is how this extremist group are tapping into it. So, yes, U.S. got to get in deep. West got to get in deep. If they still want to involve, they still want this country to be democratic country. They want to respect the human right. They want to do this. You got to get into that. You can't be just keep standing outside, keep giving those funding. You got to get in deep like the way China's doing, the way Russia's doing.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I wanted to bring this up because it's one of the concerns I have about aid, and I always have it about aid.
Right.
This is a breakdown of dependency.
Right.
It says there are 5 stages. Appreciation.
Yep.
Thank you very much for bringing me food. We were starving. 2, anticipation. Hey, next year they're going to bring it if we come up short.
Yeah.
3rd year, expectation.
Right.
Like, oh, well, you're supposed to bring this every January.
Yeah. What happened to it?
4th thing is entitlement. Hey, January's our rice thing.
Yeah, I'm getting pissed
and then
off.
the last level is dependency.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to do that. They'll do it for us.
Yes.
So it seems like that's happened in Africa.
Yeah.
Which is just another form of fucking Western racism in every way.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, I scratch my head, and you go, you don't want everyone to kill each other,
Right.
but is the current path getting anybody to a better solution?
No, not all.
Yeah. So I don't know what the answer is.
Not all. I think
Is there a clear answer in your head?
I hate to tell you this. The clear answer is we gotta cut it. I hate to say this, but we have to fix each other first.
Interesting.
We have to fix each other. The way that I see it, what I mean by fix each other, it has to be bloody. We have, because there's two sides that's going on right now.
And it's basically this tribalism of let it be just the way it is. Who cares?
Yes. Yeah.
It's always been this way. It's going to be this way. And this other group that wants to build a nation.
Yes. So there's people who want to build a nation, and there's people who's waiting for a hand up, and there's some elites who's waiting for those hand up because that's how they're making their money. And they don't want the rest of the country to be. They don't want to wake up the rest of the country. They want you to just keep being poor.
So they get to be the middleman and take the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep being poor, keep being not knowing, not to be able to read, write.
Yeah.
But, I'm one of the elites. I come here, study, intellectual, I know what's going on. So I'm going to be in the middle, keep eating. But instead of just worry about, let's build this nation. So these two guys, the two parties going to end up collapse.
It seems like America, it seems like it would be an easy win for us because we have a fun culture.
Right.
We have a creative and fun lifestyle.
Yeah.
We have a creative and fun business environment.
Right.
And I don't see people humming Russian songs. I don't see people wanting Russian motorcycles.
No.
They don't want to fly around in Russian airplanes very much. I don't see them wanting to like go surf in Russia.
Right.
So like we've got like if someone were to say, "Hey Greg, I'm going to make you the king of a country.
Right.
It can either be Russia or the United States."
Right.
I wouldn't want to be the king of Russia.
Definitely not.
Because this is way more fun.
It is.
We've got the best product. We should be letting everybody know about it.
See, that's the thing I try to tell the young guy. Sometimes I let things slip a little bit. I watch Facebook, they do a lot of stuff. Russia. Sometimes I just get in. I'm saying, hey, you get a visa to come to the United States to visit. You even get asylum to get to the United States, jump off those borders, which I'm against it. Because I become a U.S. citizen, I went through to it. And, that's another subject we don't want to get into.
Yeah.
So, things you can do and the freedom you have here, you can come in here, go to school, finish your school, establish yourself, achieve your dream here. That's not going to happen in Russia.
Let's do a quick lightning round.
Yeah.
Tell me about what are the things that when you were a kid that you thought were the best about America? Give me 5 things really quickly. The best things.
Sports, basketball.
Great sports. Next.
Military.
Military was awesome.
English.
The language?
Yeah, the language.
Oh, you think is it cool?
Yeah, man. Dude, when I was sitting near the TV, when I heard like English, like American English, at the same time, I think Bill Clinton was the president.
Yeah.
When you heard those, like, boom, like you get a chill.
Just hearing our language.
Yes.
Okay. Next. What else was cool?
I would say being here right now.
No, when you were young.
Oh, when I was there.
Yeah, when you were young and you were thinking about America.
The freedom to express yourself.
Okay. That's enough. Let's talk about now. What's cool about it now? You've been here. You've drunk the Kool-Aid. You've had
right now. I'm a little bit like I'm scratching my head a little bit.
We're gonna go into negatives in a minute, but just tell me about the current good things.
Oh, the good thing. Okay.
Yeah. What are the current good things?
The good thing is still the same. Like, the freedom here.
Yeah.
I would say the capitalism, because I can put a company together and chase the money, be able those opportunities you don't have that in Africa.
Everybody is a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Yes.
And we this country is still a place where there's a little bit of bureaucracy.
Right.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
There's some taxes, but not too bad.
Right.
There's some competition, but they can't stop you.
Right. But
You can get into business here and just do your thing.
But over there you cannot.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's neat about the place.
Right. You cannot.
Let's talk about negatives. The freedom here. So I think everything that you mentioned.
Let's do a little bit positive. That's a ton of stuff.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear a few more.
I would say people.
The people. Tell me about the people.
I was born a Muslim.
Yeah.
When I get to this country, Christian take over. I went to private school, Christian private school. I used to go to church every Sunday and Wednesday. I was raised by Christian. When I moved to Arizona, Jewish take over. So this is the only place, and guess what? Muslim, black, Muslim name. I get accepted.
Everywhere. Have you encountered racism?
I don't call it racism.
Well, have you encountered people who are against you because of your color?
Yeah, and I don't see it.
What's your attitude towards that?
It's like, honestly, I just as long as they don't stop me do what I'm doing, because it's just words that you can say.
Yeah.
Dude, I crossed thousands of miles I crossed the freaking ocean to get here.
Yeah.
I live that poverty. Do you think your words will hurt me?
Yeah.
Do you think if you're going to say no to me, I'm going to stop?
Right.
Dude, I'll keep coming at you. You're going to give me that job. or you're gonna give me another directions.
Yeah. It's funny. I try to, whenever I'm thinking about everything,
Yeah.
I try to put myself in somebody else's shoes.
Right.
And I try to imagine being a young black man in America. And I'm like, I'm sure I would encounter some racism.
Right.
I would encounter bias against me.
Right.
And I would fucking just go right around that and find a way to fucking dominate and prove them wrong.
That's it.
Like, I think about it, it's kind of like basketball.
Right.
This dude in front of you is going to stuff your face, and you got to get around him.
Yes.
But what's funny is it's people. If I'm going to say this, and people are going to crucify me for it, but it's the same if you're a business guy.
Right.
Everyone's trying to stuff you.
Yes.
I have to find a creative way to get around everybody who tells me no.
Yes.
And the answer is always no. You can't do that.
Right.
It's never, oh yeah, go right ahead.
Right.
So I always have to find a way. Oh, you won't make any money doing that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would be good for everybody to be black for a couple of weeks and be white for a couple of weeks. And go,
Right.
Oh, we all get told fuck off by everybody, no matter what
same
color
thing.
you are.
It's just like the thing about I always said is, oh yeah, yes, you can. People want to say that's racism, is right. There might be a group there they'll feel like, okay, you don't belong to that group. Well, I'll go and find and create my own group.
Yeah.
So if I have, just like, let's look at it. If I have a 20 white guy, I'm trying to get a job, or they belong to this group, they have this society they build, I want to get in. If they don't want me to get in, that's it. That's fine. They have their right. So I'll go and try to create my own group too. So I think like when we always trying to belong to the group, to something they were built, and I want to get in, and if they shut the door in front of me, I feel like, no, this is racist. I didn't experience.
You haven't experienced that?
No.
I don't think it's cool by any stretch to do anything
yes,
racist.
There might be there, but I never, because the way I brought up, I'm just going to go get it.
Well, you and I have talked, and I told you, like I've struggled. If you Google me online, I mean, I'm just a big racist asshole. But I'm really kind of, it's interesting you said accountability. Right. I'm the most accountability-driven human being I've ever personally encountered.
Right.
I have never met another person like me.
Yeah.
Like when something bad happens to me,
right.
I don't go, oh, geez, fuck, the world's a bad place.
Yep.
I like Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you ever listen to him.
Yeah, listen to him.
Jordan's like, the world's a tough place.
It is. He always said
brutal.
That.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's brutal. You'll damn well die from it.
Yeah, you gotta.
And I'm not like that. Yeah. I don't think the world's a tough place at all.
Right.
I think you just gotta kind of be a little tough.
Yeah.
The world's, I think, a pretty amazing place.
Yeah.
And most of the time you win.
Right.
Most of the time. If we lost most of the time, nobody'd do anything.
That's true.
Most of the time we win.
Yeah.
You just got to be willing to get in the game, right?
Yeah. You gotta play the game.
When stuff's happened to me, I always say, "What did I do?"
Same.
Like my first question is, "What did I do wrong?"
Same here.
And then I hear other people, something bad happens, they go, oh, bad things happen to me.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know, what'd you do?
Yeah.
And it's like if you meet somebody who was beat up by 7 boyfriends in a row, you okay, what are you doing? Because like you got 100% of a minority thing happening. That's weird.
Yeah.
Or people who always go out of business and they say business is tough. I go, well, yeah, it's tough, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
I take the responsibility for everything that happens to me. I get into a car accident, somebody hits me, I go, okay, how can I drive better?
Right.
And I kind of heard that from you when I was talking to you, because you were talking about coworkers.
Yes.
Tell me some of the negative things about America, because you're here, you've bought in, you're like an American. I mean, you're not like, you are, I'm saying like a California Valley girl.
Yeah.
You are an American.
Yes.
But you have a world perspective.
Right.
So with your worldly perspective, tell us the bad things you see now that's happening.
I think it's just the information, like we're talking about, and some of the youth, the way they're brought up to see things different, not appreciate. And, like sometimes when you talk to the youth, you're trying to get them see what this country have, and they need to do everything to protect it, how they're protected. they gotta show appreciation. To see that, they roll their eyes, they make you think like, oh, who are you to live, come in here, you cannot even speak English, you're trying to tell us what to do here. And I feel like that's tough for me to digest. I would say that's that direction. I don't like it, and I don't like the way we counsel each other for say some stuff.
Say that again.
I said the way we cancel culture that they talk about, and someone just says opinions, and then boom, suddenly we know we just chop him, take a knife, and then cut him into pieces. And I feel like we're contradicting ourselves a little bit. Because
as a country, you mean?
As a country.
Yeah.
You say you want people to have freedom to express themselves. But when they say something
that you disagree with.
When they say something you disagree, you kind of like a crucify that person.
Yeah.
So I've been watching that, and then
that's pretty new. That's a new thing.
Right.
When I was a kid, you know what the KKK is?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was a kid,
I don't know, but I just saw it.
But you know,
I saw the documentary and stuff. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember I went to high school in Massachusetts, super liberal state, and back in the 80s had a really highly rated public school system. And I remember we were, I don't know if it's an ethics class or ethics and law class or something like that, but they were talking about, the right to express yourself and how it's a protected right.
Right.
Free speech.
Yeah.
And the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union.
Right.
Which was this volunteer organization of attorneys who go find cases around the country to stick up for people who are being oppressed.
Right.
And I remember there was a case about the Ku Klux Klan being able to do a rally in Chicago. So these hillbilly rednecks wearing sheets and white supremacy shit, they go up to Chicago, Black America, and they're going to fucking do a KKK rally.
That's crazy.
Of course, Chicago goes bonkers and says you can't.
Right.
And the ACLU comes in and says, this is protected speech, and you have to make it safe for them.
Yes.
And I remember, it was like in a textbook. It showed cops lined up, black people down the side of the street from Chicago, and the Klan walking down the middle. Now, I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
What a bunch of dumb backwards assholes.
Right.
And let's take pictures so we know who they all are.
Yes.
But they're expressing themselves, and you know what? Like, I think having that stupidity out in the light is good.
Right.
There's nothing like that anymore.
No.
Nobody's sticking up for anybody's right to express themselves.
Yeah.
It's the scariest thing. It's the scariest thing in the country.
It is. It's like a total war country. I hate to say that, but
I know
that
mindset is.
This is what's going on in Mali.
Yeah.
And one guy is just when you speak up too much on the TV. Even myself, I had my daddy told me one day to tone it down a little bit. He wanted me to leave this country safe. So he was a military man. He told me, hey, can you?
That was your dad.
That was my dad that told me, hey, tone it down. I want you to leave here safe.
That's a sign of a weak place where the people in power are afraid of opposing voices.
Yes.
That's the weaker the place, the weaker you are, the more afraid of critique you are.
Yes. Yeah.
I think if you're strong,
you take a critique.
Sticks and stones.
Yes. You learn from a critic. You learn from when you let the people. I learned that here. When you let the people express themselves, you can get a ton out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Even like a negative expression, you get it, or you learn something from it.
Sure.
But when you start to crucify people for their view, yes, we're gonna have people. Some people are gonna have a negative view. Dude, we all are different.
Yeah.
Some people is gonna have a view where they want to destroy the whole world today. So what do you want to do with those people? God put them on the earth for
it. Can't be to destroy them.
Yeah, just maybe listen to what they have to say. But when they come up, you're just like, oh no, you.
Right.
I feel like we going away from that.
I do too, and the thing is we, the country's kind of founded on this. You said capitalism is the thing that you valued maybe the most, right?
Yeah.
And capitalism is about the free marketplace,
right?
Testing and approving or disapproving,
right?
And it's the same thing about free speech.
Yes.
It's a marketplace of ideas.
Right.
And how do we know the best idea is the best idea if we don't listen to the shitty idea also?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to have the competition or
Right.
the best idea. If it's the only idea, how can it be the best?
Cannot be.
You know,
you gotta listen.
you got to have them both happening, right?
I want to say this part. Like, back home, back in Africa, men dominant.
It's matriarchal.
Yeah. So,
Or, I'm sorry, patriarchal.
yeah, women have a few things to say in the family.
Right.
And that's even part of our culture is like that. Women have a less decision. But what I trying to tell my little brothers, even my colleagues, are just like, if you take a time to listen to your wife sometime, they're like, no, we don't do that here. Men decide. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you.
I get that. Okay.
But, the struggle you're facing today, live day by day, you live under $1 a day, $1.50 a day. That's how people live there.
Right.
So that's because you the only ones provide everything. You the only one think. I will just see what my wife listen a little bit. If I have some decision to make, I said, maybe you just take time and listen what they. I said, they have a great idea. They're like, no. So they're going, same thing what we're talking about. Like,
right. Close-minded.
Yeah, close-minded.
There's a whole nother brain there that might have something.
Yeah. But if you see that her idea as a negative before even she talk about,
right,
dude, that's another problem we have in Africa.
Sure.
You think you have everything right. She don't have nothing to say. If she say anything, or she's just a woman, let's shut it. Okay. But you still can be on top. Use those idea. It might be bad idea, it might be good idea, but let them express themselves.
Yeah.
So, I think that's another thing that Africa is struggling with.
Is the treatment of half the population.
Yes.
Yeah. Because listen, the closer we get to poverty,
right,
in almost all of human history, the less women's opinions are counted because they're more in survival mode.
Right. Yeah, they help.
And then you see the opposite end of the spectrum is you see how women's opinion here matter more than just about everything, and they're the most protected class of people who's ever walked the planet.
Fight. There was a fight.
So talk to me a little bit about your project, what you're trying to do in Mali now.
Yes.
Because that's kind of how you and I kind of connected.
Yeah.
And sat down and had lunch.
Yeah. I think, connecting with you was, I'm learning so much from you. But the time we come to the contact to now, leadership, ton of idea. Like I got a little bit emotional, trying to do things differently back in Africa, because I feel like, okay, all of the things that I built there, Russia's gained ground. For the past 12 years, I've been empowering youth, running basketball camp every year, trying to bring the positive image of the United States. And to see that overnight, we got this Russia flag just dominate everything. It kind of put me in a tough situation. But I think connecting with you, I decided to rewrite, to take another directions, to really keep what I'm doing with the sports, to empower the youth. So I'm looking at the 2024. I got everything here.
Oh, good. I want to hear.
Yeah. So, actually, I should have gave you this earlier, though.
Sure. I'm sorry I waited so long to talk about
man,
it. Yeah,
it's good.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah. So, I'm looking at the 2024 Africa Hope Gem Festival.
Great name.
Yes. Inspiration come from you.
Oh, well, part of it.
So, we're going to use basketball to educate, empower, and elevate youth in Africa.
How long are you going to be over there for?
We're looking at a month.
A month?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a month, and the purpose is really what I learned here. They can benefit thousands of youth. I think it's a time for me to step in and do that, because that's part of bring the freedom. Like, yes, we're not gonna change it, but communicate with the youth. Let them know there is an opportunity up there. and guide them in a leadership role through to the basket.
How many guys you going to bring over with you?
So we're looking at having about 6 NCAA players with some of the young guys from Mali who star in the United States.
Cool.
I'm looking to even have NBA stars.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, to get there. We're looking at about 600. We're looking at about 12 cities. We're going to bring 12 city people, young player from 12 cities together, about 600 kids. But the special thing about this, all of the young players, they're more like a star. So from U14 to 16, you bring some of the top players in their area. And then you transmit the message, you give them the message.
How can I help?
We're gonna need some funding. We put on
We should go film it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
We should go film it.
I would love to have you guys send a camera there and to film it. I want this to be the biggest ever. I've been doing it small. Usually it's 50 kids. I do it with different city. But this time I want to unite the whole country, which is, I do have a power to do that. I was a captain for the national team for 10 years. I inspire ton of players. You see, we have about 64, 67 young.
You're basically Molly Jordan.
Well, I
just made that up. You
Yes,
like that,
I
Molly?
inspired a ton of them.
Okay.
So I have the youth connection to bring a message, and the message is, we have a good thing here, and we're not going to look into get into the politics, but as long as you talk to the youth to recognize what the American experience look like, how I become top player in the United States, get a scholarship, go to University of Arizona, play professional basketball, is because I had the freedom to express myself. And the key is to help them to express themselves, to guide them. And I think with that, like I said here, what I'm looking at to get out of this one, I want to promote a positive image of the United States to Africa youth. To strength, cultivate a bond with America. Yes, there's a bond to help, but there's more that we have to offer. We got to talk to this young.
You got a budget yet?
I'm putting together.
All right. Well, once you get your budget put together.
For sure, yeah. So we
I'm not like a fat cat fucking roller, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, so
Okay.
maybe we connect some dots for you.
Yes, we need that because, like I said, you and I talk about this is a very, it's a very serious business for me because I've been mentoring a lot of this young cat. I spent thousands of dollars there, and to see those young players, those young kids is taking the Russia flag, they should be raising my flag. Dude, I brought you shoes. Brought a loaded container. Distribute to the kids
So
there.
what's the goal? A pair of Air Jordans for every kid? It's 600 kids.
Yeah,
we got to get.
basketball, uniform, and shoes. That's it.
And what's the? What are you gonna do with the? Have you figured about how you want to do the uniform?
The uniform is going to have American flag and the Mali flag.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the key. Like everything I do there.
And the kids will wear it around like afterwards.
They
They'll be
wear it around because they, I know you're gonna say more. You talk about Russia. That flag pissed me off.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I do. So I wanna take this one to another level. They haven't done anything to gain this kid's trust.
Would an American flag, if you had one on, like a basketball shirt that had a big American flag, would it get you in trouble?
Oh no.
No. So it's still free enough.
It's still free enough. We just gotta be up there.
Yeah.
But we not.
Right.
So we gotta get on the ground and then get there going. And then let me give you this statistic, which is very scary. So you have
I'll get over in front of the microphone.
48% of the population of Mali is 14 years
And younger.
Dude, that's scary.
Impressionable. Can be steered right or be steered wrong.
Yes.
Just the best time you want to coach them.
Yeah.
Best time to coach them ever.
Yeah. So that's why I appreciate what this country have to offer.
So
this country give it to me.
So you got to have a social media team that's there filming it.
Yeah.
And what do they have Instagram in Mali?
Yeah, they do. Now they're crazy with it. That's the thing.
See, that's the thing. That's what we need. We need a little camera person.
Yes.
That's going around and filming everything and just uploading the whole time.
Yep.
And we need, honestly, you need somebody there editing, doing cool little.
Yeah.
I
want to. This is. I mean, I did one event. I did that in 2016. That was a big event. But this one, I want to move the country in a positive way. I want to move the country in a positive, and then I have the ability to do that.
That's what we talked about. How do you get everybody there to watch? Do you have a game at the end, or do you have? Okay.
Yeah, it will be game.
So you got a structure you're putting together.
Yeah. So
because we don't want the 600. You want the 600 to be the main event, and we want 3 million people to come watch it.
Yes.
Because that moves the needle.
Yes. That's the key. And then,
that's what you and I talked about, was getting you a seat at the table.
Right. Yeah. Because I think that's the only way, I would say, even I'll be get respected, and a way to provide to be some sort of the liaison between the West and Mali population, even the government.
And it's a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Because it's basketball.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, hey, fucking, you don't give me a hard time. It's basketball.
Yeah. And then you look at Mali today, Mali basketball is taken off. We have kids playing professional all over the Mali now. And then, United States, we have a couple of NBA guys. We have high school, ton of kids come to the high school. Dude, this is the only place those kids come in here and achieve their dream.
Right.
So if someone is going there trying to tell a ton of BS and say, West is this, West is that, and I cannot sit and watch it. So I must do this.
What time of year do you think you'll do it?
I'm looking at...
Want to do when it's cool, right?
Yeah, that's
because Africa gets hot.
Yeah, to be cool over there is in July.
Okay.
Yeah, July, August. So that's the cool over there.
All right.
So
cool.
like it's warm here by July to August. So that's the cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and then it's still on a non-preferred travel thing. So mostly the guys you've got. Have you talked to some of your fellow expatriate Mali players?
Yeah, I do.
They're into it?
I got a ton of former players. I got a friend of mine who played in Lakers. We played in the national team together.
Okay.
He played in Lakers when Kobe was playing. He said, Mo, I'm willing to do this. We gotta do this. He said, what you see, I see the same thing.
You got any possibilities with NBA guys?
Yeah, I'm working on that one.
Okay.
So that one I have really good connections. Even when I left the Tucson yesterday with the former players, someone's playing all of the U of alumni group that we have. So I talked to them about that to see, what support that I'm getting to get an NBA, because we got almost 13 guys who's in NBA. I think we got about 9 guys in NBA. All of that's University of Arizona product. Some of our superstar. So we get to get those the beginning. Why not? If we get even LeBron James, I'll take it. But I think the key is for me to go get it.
Yeah.
I just get up there. I really appreciate you giving me this platform to talk about this project. And I'm just gonna get up with it.
I like it. I like it better than your first project.
Right.
I think this project is
I know.
I think this is a win.
Yes. I think like you helped me. The first project was more emotional things.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I feel like, okay, I take this route, I take this way, and this way has been taken away from me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go the other way, but talking to you really give me clear picture. Stick with this. You can get the other way that you want, which is be more like in a position to influence even the whole country in the top level.
Yeah.
So I think, this I feel good about it. I feel good about this.
Yeah, I agree. So many guys use their prominence for dumb causes.
Right.
And, like LeBron James, I mean, I know he's the big star.
Right.
But I personally, I think the guy's a moron because,
right.
Because he could, it's really, really hard to be so successful
Yes.
and complain so much
Right,
about what a bad
right.
place it is.
Yeah.
Like it just alienates
Right.
the entire, it alienates half the country.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes some of the stuff that he said, some stuff he should really come out. He should be taking those things. But I feel like sometimes, like, you want to sit back and look, like a Michael Jordan. He's a filthy rich. Sometimes he doesn't get his voice. He doesn't express himself in some cause. He do it different way.
Yeah.
He go on the knee, see what he can do.
Well, he's a big boy. He can.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go out and use his voice.
Right.
He can push a little bit behind the scenes.
So I feel like I want to see LeBron James do the same thing. So he can pick some cause and then really push some button, make things work behind a closed door.
Yeah. I guess the big thing is don't be wrong if you're going to make a bunch of noise.
That's true.
You best be right. And don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Right.
It is not, he ridicules and he plays in an arena where the lower seats cost, $1,000.
Right.
It's not very authentic.
Yeah. Because, it's a tough. It's the same thing when we take it back to Africa. It's because, like, you have, you making this money is because people are coming to the game, pay this big bucks.
Yeah.
So if you want to start to talk about that, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because that's how
the people who are paying you.
Yeah. So I would be more like, maybe do a different way. Let's have a more C for this price, but let's keep the big. If someone is paid $20,000, I don't have a problem with it. Keep paying that $20,000.
I think one of your best guys is going to be that Greek dude.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can get him.
Because, because he's a fucking rebel.
Yeah.
And he will not let the NBA and China tell him not to do this.
Right.
Because some of the NBA guys, they're really big. China's going to go, yeah, you're not going to this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just true.
Yeah, I would chase him down. I'm in the mission. I'm going to chase some of these guys down. If you start going to a Phoenix Suns game, you're going to see me at the hall trying to, put my project to some of these guys' hands. Hey, let's go in and do this.
I'm going to be going to Phoenix Suns because my kid's into basketball, for God's sake. So I got to go.
Yeah, for sure. You got to go. As his trainer, you gotta take a step, have fun place, go to fun place where he can learn more about basketball.
So
stuff.
Are you married here?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm married.
You have one wife.
Yeah.
And, how many kids do you have?
One.
You have one wife, one kid.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What kind of Muslim are you?
I know, man.
Kids?
I know. I tell you this. My daddy had a two wife. My grandpa had 9 wives.
Oh.
So guess what? We're tribal descendant.
Yeah.
So he was a tribal leader.
Oh, so he had to have 9 wives.
Yeah,
it was politics because he got 9 factions within the group. He has to have more.
You gotta have it. So.
Okay, hold on a sec. Did you ever? Okay, so did you have 9? Well, you had 9 grandmothers, but only one of them is your biological grandmother.
Yes.
And did you know all the 9 of them?
No.
No. Okay.
They pretty much passed away before.
Okay.
Only 2 was left. 2 got left. The dude had a 56K.
He had a what?
56 kids.
He had 56 kids.
Yeah.
Your grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. These are interesting information.
I know.
So your dad had 2 wives.
Yeah, my dad had 2.
Does he still have 2?
No, my dad passed away.
Your dad passed away.
Yeah, he passed away.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But he had 2.
Yeah, the 2 moms still there.
And do you know them both?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know you know your mom.
Same house, like.
Do they still hang out together?
No, but with the aging, the first wife going with my older brother.
Okay.
And my mom is staying in the main house now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So normal way of life.
Yeah,
Everyone gets
it
along
is.
nicely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I gotta stick with the one though.
Yeah, probably.
They're gonna kick me out of the United States. Right?
Yeah, but one's enough. One will fill your plate.
Yeah,
I don't know how anybody does 9.
I know.
At some point,
But you remember those guys were chief.
Right.
So
they
people
just
do everything for them.
Right. He didn't need to he wasn't arguing with any of his wives.
No headache. Yeah,
because when you have 9 wives, there can be no discussion about whether we're going to put a new air conditioner on.
That's
the house.
it.
No, we're just doing it. Matter of fact, you 2 carry it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right.
I mean, that's not hilarious. I'm like,
no, it is though. Compared to
our reality.
Yeah,
it's
the reality
hilarious.
we have here, it is because he live in different.
What was the name of the tribe that you're from?
We're Bambara.
Bambara.
Yes.
And that's the language you speak is Bambara.
Yeah, that's the Bambara.
Oh, okay.
So Bamanankan, that's the language.
Mm-hmm.
Bambara, that's the tribal ethnicity you can call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
The language, are you fluent in your native tongue?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you stay fluent in it? Do you have people here you speak with?
You know,
Yes. Because I bet it's very foreign. Like, it'd be hard for me to learn, right?
Yeah.
But if you taught it to me and I showed up in 2024
oh,
and was
man.
speaking,
They'd be like, what the
they'd be
heck?
like, what the hell's going on, right?
Okay. You know, it's when I call home, just talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like, I'm a those kind of person that I'm just very attached to the things that I believe. It's like, you know, being in the United States, I'm so attached to the American dream. I'm so attached to the American culture. And, you know, it's something that is, you know, it's hard for someone to just like, you know, separate me from it. So
Right.
when I'm gluing, is over.
Right.
And, you know, you can do whatever you got to do. Is still, I think that my language and stuff is the same. Like, even when I go home, they think like, after 23, 24 years I'm here, they think, oh, you know, they feel like my language changed a little bit when I started talking. I'm not talking. They're like, you haven't changed a bit. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
What did you expect? Right?
Yeah, what do you expect? Because, you know, what do we have? I believe it. I believe in our culture. And, you know, and then to think about Muslim, Islam, and African cultures, that's two different things. Because being Muslim is a religion.
Yeah.
And then we have our own culture. We have our own spirituality too.
Right.
So
it's a couple layers.
Yes.
Did you meet your wife here?
No, back in Africa.
Is she from Mali?
No. Yes, her parents are Malian, but she live in Ivory Coast. She was born in Ivory Coast.
Oh,
so
okay.
the parent left Mali, going to Ivory Coast, you know, trying to make a better life.
Does she speak your language?
Yeah, she speak it with the little. She speak with
She's
the
got
accent.
an accent.
Yeah, with the accent.
She got an Ivory accent.
Yeah, but she speak French. Yeah, Ivory Coast those.
At home, do you guys speak French?
Yeah, so we mix it both. French.
Crazy.
Yeah, now I'm just trying to get her English. Also.
That's a lot of language. That's a lot of language. And when did she come here? Same time as you? Or
no, last year.
So you last year?
Yeah.
Oh, so how old you have a son?
Yeah, my wife, my daughter, she's 10 months.
10 months. Okay.
Yeah. So my wife got here 3 months. She got pregnant. So I didn't wait time. I just want to get it going.
Okay. All right. All right.
So,
fantastic.
So she got pregnant, and then we got a daughter. She's 10 months old.
Didn't you see Coming to America? You're supposed to come here and you meet an American girl when you get here.
Yeah, I did though.
You did. You tried that.
Yeah, I did. I had a. Yeah, when I was in college, my college girlfriend, we went on after college, travel a little bit when I was playing, but it got a little bit tougher because, you know, I was so attaching to my back home, helping them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that she helped me a lot though. She did. I'm not gonna be
right,
but I think like we have two different culture.
Right. So you found somebody that's knows your soul more.
Right, and then more flexible because here when you know when you're making a living is with you and your wife. So when you start spend too much time trying to send those money home, trying to help, because I feel like I'm obligated. I'm in a position to influence, to help.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start doing that, I think that's where we have a disagreement. We didn't see each other because, you know, for her it was an American thing, but for me, I have a power to change something.
And your wife, she understands.
Oh,
that.
She understands it.
Right.
Yeah. She.
Only the way someone from a similar background
Yeah,
could possibly
would get it. Like
yeah,
I will be sending $300, $500 over there. My wife's like, "Why you send that?" You know, my girlfriend at that time / wife was like, "Oh, why you do that?" So, you know, those things. I'll be going there playing the national team for 3 months.
Right,
know.
and whereas your wife, she's like, I understand.
Yeah, she understands.
That's cool. That's cool.
My American one didn't get it. She's so it was total different culture.
Yeah, no, that's.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, lovely. You know, as you get further down the line with this.
Oh yeah, I have to.
We'll have you come and back. We'll talk about it.
Yep. 2024 Africa Hope Jam Festival.
Hoop Jam Fest. I love it.
Hope Jam Festival, yeah.
So we'll have to do up some T-shirts and
Definitely.
we got to organize the social media campaign for
Yes.
it because you want to blow it up. You want people coming from everywhere.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It should be madness.
Yes, it will. I do have got some good friends who's got really good follow up on social media also.
That's good.
I'm not a big social, but I think I gotta get in.
Well, listen, you get, let's say the country's got 24 million people.
Yes.
You get a few million people to come see different games in the course of 30 days.
Oh, the whole.
If let's say you were to get 2 million people.
Right.
That's a big number.
Easy, I can reach that. Like every year when I do my event, the national TV station cover my event.
So this is going to be bigger.
Yeah, their national TV stations is viewed by the whole Mali.
So to be able to, I just want you to imagine.
Right.
Imagine you guys have this, maybe you have a big game at the end.
Yes.
And people come in and they can't even get in to see it, but you've got big screens up and they all watch it.
We can, yep.
That would be nuts.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll whoever's in power will want to talk to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And
that's what you want, right? You want a seat at the table.
Even still now, in the COVID, they heard my voice. In the COVID, when that time they're trying to get the people to wear a mask and stuff, the government reached out to me to make a video, and they play in national
Public, you told them to mask up?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think people are waiting for me.
All right.
To come up with something. I'm doing this in a small level. I always been someone who inspired others, like young Malian, but they are waiting. So when are you gonna come up? When are you gonna do this? So I think this is a perfect one to really unite the whole country, because basketball is the number 2 sport.
What's number 1?
Soccer.
Oh, but that's gay.
Yeah, but guess what?
What?
Basketball, the young Malians see themselves as American because we have the number from 16 to 24. We got about 100 and some players, young player here. It's like how I got here. They left home, just, hey, mom, dad, I'm out.
Well, they're going to where the money is.
I'm out.
Yeah.
So now those young players got a ton of follow back home.
Right.
But now someone has got to bring everything to the light.
Yeah.
And then talking to you, my man, I was just like, whoa, Mo, you got to get it back on track. And
well, I love it. I think it's cool, man.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And listen, I got to tell you, I'm super grateful for the time you spent with my son. I'm very, very grateful.
No, he's special.
We threw the baseball around a little bit. We've never done any sports at all, and all of a sudden he wants to play basketball.
Yeah.
I put together something for you.
Oh, man.
It slides out right here, so you can just slide it open and check it out.
Holy shit! Oh no!
So I thought that was I just thought it would be a cool little Mali flag.
Yes.
And then that's a knife you can kind of carry around, and it doesn't annoy people because it looks nice and tame.
Sorry, my language though.
What's that? To which camera?
Wow.
Hold it up for this camera right here.
Wow.
So that's from our ASK line, and I'm not trying to be a shameless self-promoter. It was the easiest one to do a cool flag print for.
I gotta tell you this. Like, when I take a tour...
Don't save it, though. Put it in your pocket and carry it around, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely. Taking a tour to your factory today blow my mind.
It's crazy, right?
Dude, this dude... I was just hanging out with this dude. I don't know anything about this dude. You're the most humble guy I ever met.
My God, everybody watching this is like, did he actually meet the same guy?
No, this dude, when I was hanging out with you, it's we talk. But dude, you got this monster.
Crazy.
This is ridiculous, bro.
This
is high-tech knife.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
And so I just feel really blessed, and I have the most wonderful people around, and I come in a little late every day, and I leave at the end of the day. And
you inspire me, bro.
Oh, good.
Because made in America,
it's an American story. I'm an American
It
story.
is,
I'm
though.
a grandson of a Greek immigrant
Yeah.
who came here during World War I. So I just think the most interesting thing about people ask me, what's the coolest thing about your company? I go, well, the whole story.
Yes.
Like, I just decided to do this. Like,
Wow,
you
yeah.
can't do it everywhere.
No.
So I think it's cool, and I appreciate it.
It is. Man, you just like, you keep giving me boost.
Good.
So it's going to be scary, man.
I can't wait to see what
It's going to be
happens.
scary.
I hope that by the time you pull this off, we're
Yeah.
able to get some travel visas so
We
that I
will.
can go.
Yes.
Because I would like to be able to go over and see it.
You know, I do have I might get the U.S. Embassy involved with it.
I think it's a smart thing
I'll
to do.
definitely just right away, I'll reach out to them, get them involved.
Yeah.
As American, I'm 100% American. As an American citizen, I want to get them involved.
And I think having a good package together to
Yes.
show them a good pitch deck.
Yes.
And of course, I can help you with that if you want anything.
And then I've been doing this out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
Small, like even build basketball court, remodel basketball court every year. You know, I bring stuff to donate to the youth.
So are you thinking you're going to hold it in one place or move around?
No, you got to do it in one place.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
used
then
to.
how
I
many
used to move
basketball
around.
courts?
We do have the indoor core is a big enough, and we have 2 outdoor core.
What's it cost to put a court in?
Man, you're looking at $500,000.
$500,000 to put a basketball court in?
No, outdoor basketball court. That's like a $15,000.
All right.
Yeah, $15,000 to put a nice outdoor basketball court. Just like the one we have here, those is expensive. Like outdoor basketball court here is like a $75,000.
Yeah.
And when I look at it, I'm like, God damn it. But when I built $15,000 outdoor basketball, nice, with the nice rim and everything, and you know, you can get things going with that.
Do you need any more of those?
Oh yeah.
Because that would be interesting.
Because
what if we get some construction companies to donate the money for some basketball courts?
That's where
It'd be cool if you had 10 or 12 courts going.
Yes.
And just madness the whole time.
I will send you a picture. Like,
are you guys gonna have dunk competitions? And all
oh
that
yeah,
kind of stuff?
everything.
I can't wait to see this.
I went to some of these places where, you know, and that's why I keep working, man.
How about stuff for short people? So do you have any short basketball players in Africa, or is everybody
we
just
do.
fucking tall?
We do. No, we're tall. Like
You got to do the thing where they hit the thing and jump up in the air because everybody loves seeing that crazy
so
shit.
Mali, let me tell you this: in Africa, Mali, Senegal, Sudan, Nigeria, that's pretty much got the tallest, and then Kenyan also.
Where are the Maasai from? Are they in Kenya?
They're in Kenya.
Yeah.
So that's the tallest.
Cool.
Like they got tree, but we gotta have some for short people too.
Yeah, awesome. We got that song for I want to see that. I want to see the one with the little trampoline and like a little mouth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, you Greg, I really appreciate this, man. This is huge. That's my my first ever. I've been dying to do stuff like this to get my voice heard somehow, like the idea that I have. I've been very silent. I'm aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes guys like you to listen me and sit down, take a time. You know, with the word we have around the world, like sometimes, you know, I'm not a guy who get scared a lot because shit, I got here at 17 years old. If you want to send me back to Africa, I don't give a shit. If I say something you don't like, you sending me back. But sometimes I try to reserve. I got family.
Yeah.
But talking to you really like, okay. Yeah, just keep being who you are.
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing is government programs are some fucking rube that went to some college and they think they have some idea about what America is.
Yeah.
And America's none of that. And it's all of it.
That's true.
So the most important thing about America is free minds.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part about what's happening in our modern culture.
Yes.
Accountability, hard work, and a free mind.
Yeah.
And you could do anything.
That's true.
And I think everybody knows when they're being propagandized.
Yeah.
Eventually they go, God, you know, enough already.
Right.
You know, like if you're a Nazi, at some point you go, okay, enough about Jews.
Right.
Are we going to make some cars?
Yeah.
You know, or if you're this group or that group, at some point, if you're smart, you go, okay, enough already. Are we going to do something?
Yeah.
And the government programs have a tendency to miss the mark.
Yeah.
So what I think is interesting about this,
Right.
and you heard me say it before, the thing about America is when you get, it's the only nation you can choose to be.
Yeah.
You can choose to be it.
Yeah.
I can't choose to be Malian.
No, it's a tough one. I tell you true. I travel all over the world. Like we're going back to people talk about, you face racism. I just travel all over the world. I've been to Arab country, you name it, Morocco, Tunisia, Qatar, Dubai, China, African countries, Europe. I get to experience people are the same all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people who's stupid, say stupid stuff. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's some people who smart. There's some people who care. And then some people here, just destroy things.
This place is infectious, though.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So while you guys are putting this together,
Yeah.
and I told you this when we had lunch a couple weeks ago, I was like, there's a way to sneak in a language of liberation.
Okay. Yeah.
That, when you guys all fly over together and you're all sitting having dinner talking about what you're all going to do. So,
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to do some team building with your,
Right.
with
Oh,
your
yeah.
team
100%.
to
100%.
talk about like, hey, we're not going over doing nothing.
Yeah.
And we're not just playing basketball.
Yeah.
We're freeing. How do we free a people?
People, yep.
And you free a people by giving them the idea of freedom.
Yes.
And you don't have to say, oh, rah, rah, America's the best. You don't have to say any of that shit.
Yep.
Because nobody else is saying you're free.
Yeah.
And so when you free people,
Right.
when you give them permission to be free and they taste it, they don't want to go back.
No, they don't. That's why we come in here.
Yeah.
Every time when we go there, like when I go there, you got the young people just reach up to me. They want to be around me. They want to talk to me.
Yeah.
How's things there? Because you can see, like when I was in their age, you can see their face. They're shutting down. As 16, 17, they got so much to offer in this world.
Right.
But they cannot express themselves.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
that's you give people hope.
yes.
So I think, the thing to do, because, it's a third world country.
Yeah.
They're living on very little.
Right.
People are still worried about eating.
Yeah.
I don't know any Americans who are worried about eating.
I know.
So I think, the thing to talk about, I think the thing to deliver a message of is, like self-determinism and
Yes.
hope.
Yep.
Self-determinism.
Yes.
Then whatever that phrase is
Yeah.
in your native language.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Self-determinism.
Yes.
And that's going to spook people.
Oh, big time.
Because self-determinism means you're not the boss of me.
Yeah.
And I think that's and you can use the metaphor of basketball.
Yes.
See, everybody's in front of you telling you no.
Right. Yep.
Everybody's in front of you stuffing you. There's nobody on the court that wants you to get up to the net.
I know we about to wrap it up, but I didn't tell you my story. When I was young and I'm crazy with American culture, with American life, I used to tint my, the way Dennis Rodman do his hair.
Yeah.
I used to do that. And I would tell the people I'm going to United States, they'd be like, you must be out of your damn mind. Your daddy cannot even pay you shoes. My daddy couldn't afford a pair of shoes of basketball.
He had two wives.
It was super expensive. Yeah. So when I tell people I'm going to United States, nobody believes in me.
Right. Yeah. Crazy.
Nobody. And when I achieve it, and I went back there, and I was just like, I was built different. I went back to people who say you cannot. I was looking in their eyes. I did it like intentional to go say hi to them. And from there, I say, okay, I'm going to become the captain of Mali national team. I'm going to make sure the Mali flag is going to rise up. They was like, oh, you must be out of your damn mind. Who you have behind your back who will help you to become, because Mali, everything is just
who you know.
Yeah. It's not about your performance.
Right.
I'm like, okay, watch me. So I had to conquer that to become the captain of a national team. But now I'm in a different field.
That's the same thing of everyone who's poor.
Yes.
Everybody who's poor thinks there's no way to get out of it.
Yeah.
And so I think honestly, a Western American message of like self-determinism and hope.
Yes.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
And, you know, even if you guys talk to him about like entrepreneurism,
Right.
you know, you were talking about starting a business
Yes.
there.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
well, how about I could give you a list of companies
Okay.
that have been founded and started
Okay.
by watching my videos.
Okay.
And I have their stories.
Oh,
and they
shoot.
reached out to me and said, we started our company because of you.
Wow.
How about, you know, maybe the goal, I'm just shit talking with you out loud here, okay? How about the goal is you guys all go there like a bunch of fucking ballers
Yeah.
and you have this great experience.
Right.
And the message is entrepreneurism. You know, say, hey, listen, it doesn't matter if you've got a Russian flag, welcome.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have an American flag, welcome.
Yeah.
Because our ideas,
Right.
we don't need a flag.
No, we don't.
Our ideas will win.
That's true.
Their ideas are small, our
Yep.
ideas big.
Yep.
And so say, hey, look, if you have a Russian flag, welcome. If you have an American flag, welcome.
Yep.
We are about entrepreneurism.
Empowering you.
You can change your country.
Yeah.
Change your country.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're here doing it.
Right.
You can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's opening a McDonald's. You know, whatever.
That's a possibility.
I think that's like, that would be the message of the camp. And to
Jesus
welcome
Christ.
the Russian, the Chinese, say, hey, I don't care if you have a Chinese flag or a Russian flag or
Right.
American flag.
Yeah.
That's all politics. I don't care about that. I
Yeah.
do care about the country being better
Right.
when my kid comes back here.
Yes. Yes.
And that's only going to happen from what
Right.
I've seen around the world
yeah.
by you guys going out and starting a venture.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do it.
No, this is. I'm looking forward to, man. Since we talk, we got that meeting. I'm just excited. I mean, I'm bringing it, get it like, it's kind of like a same dream that I have, living in Mali, coming to here. It's just kind of crazy. Like, I was so emotional a couple of months ago that I want to go to different ride. He was like,
Yeah.
Mo, no.
I was like, hey, hold on. Let me text one of my friends at the State Department. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. And then like when I see this, I'm having the same vision again. You know, when I was back home young, she's like, my dream was like, I want to shake Michael Jordan hand. I want to shake Vince Carter hand.
Yeah.
And I did that. So same thing now. I'm looking at bring this thousands kids, bring this leader, the young leader of 600, but have the whole country united to watch it. Those is the thing I'm having flash.
So imagine this. Imagine that you come up with some way to have some people within the 600 win.
Yeah.
Like they win the Jam Fest.
Right, yep.
Or
Yeah.
they win. Maybe one of them's got to write a personal statement
They
about
will.
their journey to get
Yeah,
there.
so
Okay. So then you pick, imagine you pick 5 kids
Right.
for an entrepreneur scholarship. And so I don't know, what does $2,500 allow someone to do in Africa?
Yeah. Lot.
Or $5,000?
Yeah.
Would $5,000 be the seed money to start a little operation, or would they go out and buy a car?
That's a scholarship for 40 years.
Right. So imagine
Yeah.
the point of the whole thing is to maybe the goal is to start 10 businesses.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of something
No.
that would be infectious with everybody,
Yeah.
right? Like, no, look, everyone can't go to college. I know you're helping taking care of your mom.
Right.
You know, I know you can't go to college. You got responsibilities in your family. You're never going to be able to leave Mali, but you can start a little business.
Yes.
What's your hustle?
Right.
You know, so you got the Hustle Hoop Jam Festival. What's your hustle? You know, I'm just talking out of my ass, right? Here's my pen. Here it is. So, you know, the thing is, like, maybe you find some ways to give out 10 little entrepreneurial awards. And then what they have to do is they write a little business plan.
Yeah.
And you don't screen them that hard. You give them the goddamn money.
Yeah.
And they either do something or don't.
Right.
But imagine next year you go back and you have 3 really cool stories
Right.
from last year.
Yeah.
I think okay, I just made a spot for myself. Okay,
see-
here's the spot for myself, right?
Okay. Let me.
Because I want to go to Mali and
Yeah,
be like
I gotta get you
valuable,
there.
but I
Yeah.
don't want to go there and fucking take pictures. Okay, there's people
no.
who do that.
I see.
But you know what I could be is the guy who sits down with 10 kids and says,
Yeah.
"Hey, look, what's your business plan?
Oh shit.
Let's talk about it." And then, all right, we got these scholarships for you
Right.
guys. Now we're going to email back and forth, and we're going to release the money in 3 steps. First, you've got to achieve this. Like, that would be pretty cool.
Oh, big time.
And I think if you do that,
Yeah.
I think you could change the whole country,
Oh, definitely.
because the kids will all be competing to start a business.
See, this is what we're missing over there, and that's what West didn't understand. Like, instead of give, let's do something. Let's provide them with something. Teach them how to fish.
Right. That's my thing. Is like I don't want to throw fish at everybody. I
Yes.
want to teach them how to fish.
Yeah.
So like if $2,500 or $5,000 will get a business plan going in Africa.
Oh, big time.
Then let's get 10 kids to win.
I gave a young lady $600. She started her business with it. $600. She started a restaurant business.
Are you doing anything with girls or is it just boys?
I'm doing stuff with the girl. My wife is doing it. So my wife is a model.
Okay.
She's a model. So she have this event for women who do fashions, designing, shoes, clothing. So every year she do that too.
Well, I think I just think that if you come with this great message,
Yeah.
you welcome everybody,
Right.
and you welcome the Russians, and you welcome the Chinese,
Yeah.
and you welcome everybody,
Yep.
and say, this is you and I are going to talk and have lunch again, and we're going
Definitely.
to come up with something fun
Yeah,
for it.
Definitely.
I think I call it Hoops Hustle Jam Fest or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Because hustle is what you do on the basketball court,
Yes,
and hustle is
that's
what
true.
gets your food for your family.
Yes. Yeah.
And that would be such a great
And that's how I got here.
hoops and hustle or something.
That's,
you know
how,
what?
that's how I got to.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, even
yeah.
that's still like, I don't take no for answer.
Well, I love it,
Yeah.
and that's what Jeff obviously played some ball in college, and he had a big career at a Fortune 100 company
wow.
before I got him.
Yeah.
And he said one of the things when he had hundreds of people working for him.
Yeah.
And one of the things he used to really he liked college ball players.
Yes.
He said they were disciplined,
Oh, yeah.
they wouldn't take no for an answer,
No.
they were driven,
Yeah.
and you could give them a playbook and they'd follow the plays.
Yeah.
'Cause,
And
it's
that's what I
like how
always
they
tell.
live.
A lot of my leaders, I told them, just tell me or give me what I need to do.
Right.
The rest, I'll make it happen.
Well, I think we just kind of came up with this goofy idea while we're
Yeah,
talking. Maybe it's something that fits into your basketball thing.
Big time.
Because I think that would give it staying power to the next year. Some great stories.
Yes.
And that's how you motivate people
That's-
who aren't basketball players, but they're spectators.
Actually, you're right, because I'm talking about sustainability. I know I put some of those, but yes, basketball will give you, yes, we're going to teach them basketball. We're going to talk to them, inspire them, but sustainability will come from business, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So I think
That's the message.
I
And
do
it's
say
hard to shut that down.
I'm talking about sustainability here, but you just brought this great point, because that's long-term sustainability. Empower someone with their business plan, and then through to this event, and that person, trust me, a lot of these young, I did the test before. So some of the young guys, when I do my camp, that's their like first month, 2 months. And a lot of time the coaches tell me to turn it up, like they will start strong, and in 2 months they will stop. So during my camp, when I run the camp, I was like, okay, next year, all of the players who came to this camp, who's belong to this club, this
Organization.
basketball core, if I see you guys here next year, this is what I'm gonna give it to you. Guess what?
More of them showed up.
They all show up.
Yeah, because we're all motivated.
And then
by
more
stuff.
show up, until the point like all the clothes, the stuff I bring, I'm like empty hand. I'm like, oh man, I should have bring more.
Right.
So it worked. It worked in the level.
That's capitalism. Everybody will do something for reward.
Yes.
That's self-determinism.
Yes.
So they know, if I'm determined to do this, I'll get something
if I
for
come
myself.
back next year, so these people that we're gonna empower, we're gonna give them, they know sure next year we're gonna show up with another thousand people is coming. They want to be part of that. They're not gonna mess it up.
You get 10 kids to go start an enterprise.
Yes.
And you change the 10 kids. Every one of them will be a success story, kind of like my little thing is here.
Yeah.
And they'll motivate 10 other people. That's how you change a country, man. Because they'll become self-determinism and they'll be unchangeably free.
No, you're a smart guy, man.
Oh, well, you talk long enough. A few smart words might come out. Hey, listen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Great
you
having
so
you
much.
here.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, right?
For sure. Let's do it. No, I thought it was a Thursday.
Oh, I thought you said Tuesday.
Oh, my bad.
Thursday?
Because I'm getting off tomorrow 9 p.m.
So Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday, 6 to 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
6 to 7. So
All right, sports fans, that's the show. Mo, thanks for joining us. Good having you here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, you guys, you can check us out, on YouTube. You can see the shorts there at Medford Knife. You can also go to iTunes, Spotify, Rumble, The Greg Medford Show. I'm your host, Greg, and I'm out.